Oh yeah, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com with your hosts, Corey, Manny, and Tommy. And now, broadcasting from planet Earth, it's time for Pixels and Bits. Welcome to Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Corey. Hi. Welcome to episode 52 of Pixels and Bits. I am your host, Corey, and I am joined by my co-host, Manny. Say hi.
What's up, everyone?
Tommy is not here because his job is lame.
Boo-hoo! Tell him what he's doing.
Tommy works at a movie theater, and because it's the release of the Hunger Games today, as of this recording, they needed the extra manpower, so they told Tommy, you have to work today.
Or says Tommy, I'm convinced that he actually wants to see it, and he's just using that as
excuse,
so.
Guys, I really don't want to see the Hunger Games. Yeah. This is wearing, like, merchandise and everything.
Yeah. He's dressed up as one of the characters. He's already cosplayed.
Knows the book by heart, but doesn't let anybody know.
Yeah. Which I totally respect, Tommy. And anyone else.
It's all right, Tom. It's all right. Anyways, it's time to jump into the Overshield news desk. Hit the music. All right, so first is next-gen news. Xbox news. First, Xbox One sells over 1 million consoles in first 24 hours. Xbox One Sunset Overdrive, which, do you remember that at all?
Oh,
it was like the weird cel-shaded parkour running from zombies thing.
That's right, yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Well, they said it's to come out in 2014. I'm not gonna lie, like, the aesthetic look I like. I think it looks, and I like games that don't go the hyper-realistic route like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this looks okay. It's just that I haven't seen any gameplay, so I can't say anything. But next Xbox news. Bad news from Xbox. They said that they will struggle to meet holiday demand. In a interview with CVG, Xbox VP Phil Harrison, quote unquote, there will be difficulty getting stock through until Christmas, but we will do everything we can to accelerate that. And then from a software point on our services that are constantly upgrading, we will continue to innovate there. From a game and product point of view, we have a very strong lineup for the year ahead. So this is really just one day in the calendar, and then tomorrow it is back to work. We have some big games to bring to the market in the first quarter and beyond. It's kind of, to me, didn't that just sound like he says, there won't be any more games for the rest of this year?
Pretty much, or you're just gonna have to wait for it, you know? Which sucks even more because it's like, you're already out of a console and now you don't have games for it?
I'm waiting until they do a price drop, and they're gonna have to do one.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. Because it's like, okay, yeah, of course, both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One sold 1 million consoles in 24 hours. No freaking whoop. I mean, come on. All consoles sell really well on launch day. They always sell out.
Yeah. In fact, I was
even the Wii U sold out on day one.
Yeah. I was talking to someone, and I forgot where they went. I don't know if it was Target or something, but they said that store wasn't even taking pre-orders, and they still had 2 Xbox Ones left.
Really?
Yeah. Shows you how much in demand that was.
Now, as we are reporting this on a Friday, some people may know this, but right before the Xbox One launched, a couple features were dropped from the system. The big one being that you cannot stream on Twitch.
Interesting.
That's kind of a big one when they touted that as a big feature.
Uh-huh.
I've been trying to do. I did it successfully one time on my PlayStation 4, and then the second time it didn't go so well, and I haven't been trying it again since. But the sharing option, like in terms of going on the Twitch and broadcasting your gameplay, works really well. So I think it's funny that like there's only one console right now that can stream gameplay. Now, technically on your Xbox One, you can still record and share gameplay. You just can't broadcast. Unless you have a special box.
So it's kind of like its own hot dog.
Yep. Also, you cannot play MP3s off a USB device.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
And speaking of USBs, they lost the. Okay, you know how PlayStation, they came out and said, hey, if you're gonna get a PlayStation 4, we know that if you download the 1.5 update, it's gonna take forever. So here you can put it onto a flash drive. Here's the instructions on how to do that. Well, Microsoft initially said the same thing about the Xbox One, and then literally the day before, like literally yesterday, the story came out. They dropped that ability, so now you can't do it. You can't load the patch with a USB. You have to go through the network.
Ooh, that's not cool.
No, not cool at all. And here is the worst news about the new Xboxes. The worst news. Alright, so people have been talking about how there was the pulsing blue light issue with the PS4. Turns out that only affected like 0.1% of the population. Microsoft, I think they might have another red ring of death on their hands here. I don't know how big the numbers are, but I hear they're significantly bigger than the PlayStation 4's issues were. And that is, the disk drives are breaking.
Oh, that sucks.
When people... the problem was discovered when people put in their discs, and then when starts reading the discs, it sounds like it's eating the discs.
Oh god!
It sounds really, really bad. Now here's an update. Microsoft did just this is literally just an update on the story. I refreshed it and it just appeared. Microsoft has provided a statement. They really doesn't say much, but here's what they put out. We know that a hardware launch of this magnitude, customers will have questions, and we have many avenues for customers to get the answers they need and get back in the game as soon as possible. Rest assured, we plan to take care of our customers. Any customer who believes they're experiencing an issue with their Xbox One should reach out to us. There are many available avenues for our customers to get in touch with us, including talking to a live customer support person that can call you back if you don't want to wait, xbox.com for support pages and forums, on Twitter at Xbox Support, and they're also helping diagnostics. What? That was just a generic statement. They didn't say anything.
Yeah, not only that, but I'd be curious as to how far they'd go. Like, dudes, I need this thing replaced.
Wait, hold on. There's a lot. There's someone. Okay, they updated the story
again,
but they accidentally put it in tiny text, so I didn't see it at the bottom. Okay, here's another. They issued another statement. This issue is affecting a very small number of Xbox One customers. We are working directly with those affected to get a replacement console as soon as possible. Okay, so good guy Xbox, they fixed it. They're basically they're saying if you bought a broken console, we'll replace it. But question: how did this happen in the first place?
Ooh, it sounds like some bad Q&A, or these were shipments from Walmart.
Well, it's kind of the same on both ends. I mean, you think both parties would learn from what happened to Microsoft, back at the Xbox 360 launch, but then again, it's a new generation. Shit happens, but I've never heard anything about Nintendo's consoles breaking.
No, Nintendo is pretty tight when it comes to Q&A.
Yes, gotta be. But moving on to Sony. And unlike Xbox, Sony assures that there will be a good supply of PS4s this holiday. When asked about it, they said, "We are ensuring that we have the broadest." Someone put an R in there for some reason. The broadest reach to ensure that people are satisfied, especially when they've been loyal to the brand for so long. On the other hand, we're not engendering? I've never heard that word. Engendering frustration by having a shortage of supply. I think the holiday season will be in good supply. Okay, that was so poorly worded, but all right. But they said that they do believe that they will sell 5 million by March. I think they
Bless you.
My apologies. I've never sneezed on air.
There's a first.
That's a
Too bad
first.
Tommy wasn't here.
Yeah. No, they said that they will sell 5 million PlayStation 4s by launch, guaranteed. They'll reach that number, of course. More new PlayStation news, and if you are a connoisseur of erotic art, and you're looking for an app to cater to that need on your PlayStation 4, well, look no further. Then Pornhub is coming to PlayStation 4.
God. I was waiting for Brazzers, but apparently...
Pornhub put out an official Twitter saying, why buy a PS4 for gaming when you can buy one for fapping? Oh my Christ.
That is terrible.
Actually, I think what's even better is the banner of this story. It says PS4, see the porn.
That's exactly what Sony wants people to think.
Well, I can see that this is going to be successful in Japan.
Whoa.
And now, news concerning both the Xbox One and PS4. And that is about the Oculus Rift. And as much as I want to see it come to the systems, well, in an interview with the Oculus Rift inventor Palmer Luckey, he discussed about the possibility of it hitting the next-gen consoles. But here's what he had to say. Consoles are too limited for what we want to do. We're trying to make the best virtual reality device in the world. We want to continue to innovate and upgrade every year. The problem with consoles in general is that once they come out, they're locked to a certain spec for a long, long time. So he says that they will not release the Oculus Rift on the Xbox One and PS4. Now, speaking about the Oculus Rift, guys, remember how we talked about John Carmack?
Yeah.
Well, but we knew that he kind of stopped working at id Software, but was still there, and that he took over as one of the lead programmers for Oculus Rift. Well, it came out and announced today. Well, the studio director Tim Willits confirmed that John Carmack has left id Software for good. Quote unquote, from John Willits. John Carmack, who has become interested in focusing on things other than game development at id, has resigned from the studio. John's work on id Tech 5 and the technology for the current development work at id is complete, and his departure will not affect any projects. We are fortunate to have a brilliant group of programmers at id who worked with John and will carry on id's tradition of making great games with cutting-edge technology. As colleagues of John for many years, we wish him well. And now, John Carmack is the Chief Technology Officer at Oculus Rift. Yeah.
So he's definitely moved up.
I think he took a step down. Honestly, but alright. It's just, I'm sorry, but when it's like, President, CEO of a game company, or of a big AAA game company, or CTO of a small Kickstarter company. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a step up, but, good luck to John.
Yeah. Well, he apparently gave it up for a particular reason, whether it's politics that's unbeknownst to us, or what.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Activision, because there's kind of a rumor going around that Activision may have sold off the Crash Bandicoot franchise.
Ooh, to who?
No one knows. But someone noticed that everything relating to Crash Bandicoot, all of its content, has been removed from Activision's website, and Crash Bandicoot's own website is gone. So so people are thinking that somebody may have picked up the franchise, maybe Sony. But a tweet from Sony's head of publisher relations, Adam Boyes, kind of deflated that rumor. He says Activision owns the IP, so you should ask them about it. So, has Activision killed Crash Bandicoot?
That'd be a shame, but...
That would be a shame.
But honestly, what was the last game from Activision you played?
Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, I haven't really gotten into that series.
Or World of Warcraft, or Diablo 3, or StarCraft 2. Because they own Blizzard.
Right, probably Diablo 3 for me then, but that's about it, so...
But, I don't want to see Crash die. I have fond memories of Crash.
Oh yeah, are you kidding?
I just wish somebody who with capable hands could make a great game with him.
Yeah.
Because, well, Naughty Dog won't do that shit anymore. Uncharted and Last of Us! Uncharted and Last of Us! Oh my god, so realistic!
And I couldn't remember, is Crash one of the PlayStation stars?
Crash was like the mascot for like the PlayStation 1.
Oh no, I meant like that PlayStation star.
Oh, PlayStation All-Stars?
Yeah,
no,
All-Star.
he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
He wasn't in it, and that was really weird.
I know. Yeah, I mean, he should be. He's an icon of Sony.
Now, move away from Activision and on to our favorite publisher, Electronic Arts. Now, you remember? Okay, you guys remember when EA got sued by college athletes concerning their likeness in NCAA games?
Yes.
And they lost, and they had to pay off the athletes? Well, because of that lawsuit, EA is now being sued by the NCAA. They were going to pay the players off, but the NCAA isn't happy about players receiving financial compensation. So they've taken EA to court for a breach of contract, because fuck them. Basically, they're trying to prevent the settlement from concluding so that nobody gets money, and they only get it.
Well,
wow, what
sense.
dicks.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Now you know why your Battlefield servers are crashing, because apparently EA...
Yeah, because the NCAA took all the money away from... Yeah.
So they couldn't buy the good servers.
I don't know. I'm just mad that NCAA got pissed and says, no more college football games. I'm like, wait, what? I love the college football games, man.
Yeah, just so in case anyone doesn't know, that's like a tradition between me and Corey.
Oh yeah, like every time me and him hang out, we do a football game. And it's been kind of going back and forth on who wins and who
So
loses.
far, Corey has been undefeated against me. Like, I have yet to win a game.
No, you won a game against me.
I don't think so, dude. I got really close, but I didn't win one. Because remember we were talking about that when Andy came by?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, Manny, it's either that Manny comes literally within a point of beating me, or I beat him by 20 points.
Yeah.
But moving on from EA, and we know that they have the Star Wars franchise in their hands, with basically Disney giving them full creativity on the games. Now, people were worried that the upcoming games would be just movie tie-ins. Well, Blake Jorgensen of EA revealed, we've done movie games over the years, and we wanted to make sure that we weren't doing a movie game based on the movie. So no movie games! That means that these will be original Star Wars games.
Interesting.
And actually, from what I hear, the new Battlefront title is looking to ship in mid-2015.
Holy cow. I mean, that sounds so long now, I suppose.
That sounds so long, but that means literally it's just less than a year. Once this year's E3 starts, less than a year, Battlefront comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're less than a year and a half from a Battlefront game, a new Battlefront game. I'm excited.
I'm totally psyched, dude. I remember when Halo came out, and I'm like, this is cool, but I don't have an Xbox. And then Battlefront came out for the PC, and I'm like, oh, this will be my Halo.
And then here's a representation of what Manny sounded like for the next 2 weeks after playing Battlefront. Oh! Manny, you all right? Towels!
Yeah.
Now, last story, very last story. Not gaming related, but it's related to somebody that me and Manny are very fond of. That is Hayao Miyazaki.
Ooh.
Now, some people may remember that Miyazaki came out and said that he is retiring from films. So he may not be making films anymore, but he says he's not done creating. He's actually working on a new manga.
Oh, okay.
And he is working on a samurai-era manga.
Oh, cool. To go with like all the Ronin Kenshin, Samurai Deeper Kyo, and all those.
Yeah. Now, he's doing this without a publisher right now, but you know what? It's Hayao Miyazaki. Like, publishers will jump at the bit to get him.
Yes.
Okay, it's, everything that Miyazaki has touched, it just turns to, like, diamonds. So, like, I'm really curious to see what this is like. I'm really curious to see what a manga from the Japanese Walt Disney would be like.
Yeah. I would definitely look forward to it.
Yeah. So, that is the end of the news desk. And it's time to move on to the middle segment. Take it away, Manny.
Oh, right. Well, as you all know, Friday of last week, I believe it was the release of the PlayStation 4. And since then, as you probably heard, Corey and I have been all over it. In fact, some games we've been playing include, but not limited to, Killzone. What's that? That one Space One, Corey, you play Rasengan?
Oh, Resogun.
Yeah,
I
Resogun.
played Contrast.
Mm-hmm.
I also own Madden 25, Battlefield 4, and I played the new Call of Duty as well.
Mm-hmm. And just so you guys know, Resogun and Contrast are free to play or download games if you have the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. They're normally $15 games, but if you bought a PlayStation 4 at launch and you have PS and you got PlayStation Plus, you got these games for free. And Resogun is probably my favorite launch game ever. I was gonna give that to Killzone, then I got halfway through the campaign and it got really fucking frustrating. And
then of course
I will be doing a review of Resogun and Killzone. But it may be another week or so before those get released, because I'm still working on another review as well, and me and Manny are also doing a review of the PS4. So we're really, really busy right now. Don't expect to see, I would say don't expect the Killzone review until after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. But believe us, when the stuff comes out, it's going to be coming in chunks, so...
Oh, yeah.
Hold the seat of your pants.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah. Is your body ready, Corey?
My body is Reggie.
It is Reggie, of course. Well, hopefully everyone else is too. In particular, on the PlayStation 4, first impressions, very sleek design, very smooth. What I like about it is it has a small footprint, and despite all...
Oh, shit, this thing's at the size of my 360.
Well, do you have yours laying down flat or standing up?
No, I lay mine flat, but I have like no space on my shelf right now because I need to reorganize that shit.
Yeah.
But like now it sits on my desk and it takes up a good chunk of my desk to where I can't put my computer and the PlayStation 4 and my TV on the desk at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah. But like, so the console is very sleek, but like the moment I saw, and I've always thought this about PlayStation 4, it's like, holy shit, it's a space age rhombus.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? It's those erasers that you get like in 3rd grade, those pink ones where they're like perfectly rhombus shape. You remember those?
Yeah.
And I always used to like play with those like they're the mini skateboards.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me of.
I agree, but I think the thing I'm most impressed with is the controller, and this is the biggest reason why I never bought a PlayStation before. I hated the controller. I thought it was too cramped. It didn't contour to my hands very well. I had fairly large hands growing up, and my thumbs kept slipping off the sticks, and I didn't like the triggers. Plus, I thought I thought from where my thumb was to the buttons, it was too close. So literally, I just thought the whole controller felt cramped. I felt like it was designed for Asian hands, which it probably was. It probably was, if you think about it.
That's not racist.
No, I'm being serious. It probably really was, because well, think about it. The PlayStation controller hasn't changed at all since the PS1, and up until PS4. But when it's a Japanese product at first. Remember, it released in Japan before the US.
Yes.
So when they designed that product, they designed it for Japan first. So yeah, of course, I think of the old PlayStation controller, Asian hands, the new one, normal hands.
American hands.
I know, I wouldn't say American hands. If you want an American hand controller, you get the Xbox Duke controller. That thing was massive. Or a Dreamcast controller, for Christ's sake.
Lord, yes.
Or you know what, the N64, because why not have a 3-prong controller?
And the other thing about the PlayStation 4, despite any rumors or reports you hear about it, like the pulsing blue light, or
that's literally like 0.1% of people.
Exactly. Yeah, I personally don't have that issue either. The only observation I did notice is every once in a while, like the disc reader itself starts to kind of buzz a little bit loud, and I do notice that the back area.
You hear it reading really loudly.
Exactly, yeah. And I noticed the back end of the PlayStation, like, it feels pretty warm, like almost uncomfortably warm. But it is getting the air take though that it needs, I think.
Well, I was expecting it to be rather warm when they said that it didn't have a power brick. The power supply was inside the console.
Mm-hmm.
Which now I'm kind of thinking, wait a second, the power supply was outside of my Xbox. And yet it overheated and got red rain 3 times. Microsoft, you son of a bitch. I kid. But I think the thing that impressed me the most about the PlayStation 4, and I wasn't I had no idea going in that I was gonna like it this much. The user interface. It's really crisp.
Yes.
It's pleasant to look at. Everything is easy to find. Everything is organized in a very nice manner. There isn't ads in your face like the Xbox is, which that's what drove me nuts about the latest Xbox 360's software. Is I remember way back when it was the old Blades user interface. I thoroughly enjoyed that old user interface, and then they changed it. And then they changed it again, and they changed it again. And as they were changing it, they were incorporating more ads in your face. And I hated that. Now, the Xbox One isn't ads in your face from the UI that I've seen. But, god damn it, it's still there. And I like the fact that the only way you see ads is if you're scrolling over a game that's installed on your console, and you scroll down to the game to look at stuff like your trophies and whatnot, and it'll say, hey, there's new DLC for your game, would you like to pick it up? I like that. That is how it should be done. So that was the thing that I came away from the PlayStation 4 that thoroughly impressed me more than I thought it was.
Yeah, and what's also cool is, especially if you've had experience with the PlayStation 3, I mean, it was pretty cleaned up in terms of ads, but the problem with the PlayStation 3, like, if I just want to know something simple, like how much space I have left, I mean, I have to go under settings, and then system settings, and then system information. On the PS4, it literally is just look at system, and then you have, like, an about button, and there it is. It's like, you instantly know how much you need. So yeah, they really cleaned up their act in terms of, simplifying basic, commands and information. So yeah, I'm very impressed with that. The only major issue I've ever had with it so far is every now and then I'll fire it up and Resogun will have just disappeared. Yeah, I've been hearing that, especially a lot with the PS Plus games. And then of course there were some issues with saved games disappearing, like on Battlefield or something like that.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Fuck, I just picked up Battlefield. I'm nervous now.
I'll tell you what, Battlefield right now is a hot topic. I wouldn't even touch it, and you know how much of a fanatic I am about that game.
Yeah, but I still picked it up anyway because I am a Battlefield fan. I love Battlefield. And people say, "Oh, you like military shooters? Oh, you're a bro gamer." Well, fuck you. I like all games.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, come on. I've been playing Contrast, and I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. Have you played it, Manny?
No, I haven't. What's it like, man? Just
okay, it's a great game where you can shift between shadows, and basically you can use. It's a platformer where you can shift between the three-dimensional world and the shadows, and you can use like shadows and everything as like obstacles to platform on and everything. And it's great. The story and everything, how it's told, the writing's really great. The atmosphere is really great. My only problem is the controls are kinda wonky. Like your character either walks really slow, like she has a stick up her ass, or she's running around like Usain Bolt.
Good lord.
Kind of well, jogging like Usain Bolt. She isn't running, because if she was running like Usain Bolt, it'd be like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog here. But it's really it's a good game with a great concept and everything, and I would just play it just for the experience. But I think the game that I downloaded on my PlayStation 4, and it was a PS3 game, but I've never ever played it before, and I've always heard great things about it. So I took the $10 voucher that Sony gave me, and I bought Flower. And I'm not gonna lie, I played it one night when I was a little inebriated, and it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen in my life. In terms of a game experience, my jaw hit the floor on how beautiful Flower was. And yes, it's just like, yeah, it's motion controls, but like after the first 2 levels, you just feel natural. You just feel yourself doing it, but you don't take your eyes off the screen. And so you don't have to look at buttons or anything. It just feels like a very natural experience, and I loved it. And I'm now literally, Flower is probably my favorite indie game of all time.
Now, for those of us who aren't familiar with that title, Corey, could you briefly tell us what it's about or how it's played?
Oh, have you never played Flower?
No, I looked it up though, because when you had mentioned it the other day, I'm like, oh.
Okay, Flower is made by the guys who made Journey for the PS3. This was their first title.
That's the vibe I got.
For the PS3. But so what Flower is you start at an apartment in the city, and there's a flower vase. You zoom in on the flower vase, and a petal goes, and music starts to play, and you see that same flower in a field, and the petal flies off into the wind, and you control the wind as you are going through the flowers of the field. And as you do, color starts to come back to the world, and life and everything, and it's amazing. And it has, like, you go from everything from like sunrise to sunset to night to just like, it's just beautiful. I like, just for the aesthetic value, Flower is worth the $7. It's only a $7 game. It's not like a $15 indie game. I'm here. I mean, like, if you bought a PS4 at launch and you still have that $10 voucher, buy Flower, please. If you've never played it before, buy it, play it. You won't regret it. And as for, if you're wondering if there's a story, there kind of isn't one. It's kind of up to interpretation. You just see events unfold. You don't know what's happening. There is no narrative, so you just kind of form your own plot. From my perspective, it felt like I think I was in a dream. I think that's what the whole thing was, but I can't be for sure.
That definitely does sound interesting.
Now, let's talk about the Xbox One. No, neither of us have purchased an Xbox One. Nobody on staff has purchased an Xbox One yet. Well, because none of us have five. Tommy's working on it, but none of us have the $500 right now. Me and Manny just... Well, fuck, Manny literally spent $800 on PS4s.
Just trying
bought two for his sister's most generous bastard in the world.
But they were pretty generous. They ended up getting me one as well, so they returned the favor. And I was totally not expecting it, by the way. I really wasn't.
Yeah. No, but I got hands-on with the controller, and I didn't get to test out the Kinect, but I got to play around with the user interface, and one of the things I liked about the user interface is you can have pins. It's very similar to the user interface is very, very, very similar to Windows 8. It's very much like the Metro system in Windows 8. Though you can organize the pins and everything, so you could literally have it to where you can have all your Netflix and TV apps on one page, all the games you have installed on one page, and settings on the other. And it's great. It's a good way to organize everything, but there's still the advertisements, and I find that a little annoying. I don't think ads belong in your home screen. Seriously. If I want to see an advertisement about a game, I'll go to the game marketplace. If I want to see advertisements about a TV show, I'll scroll over to the TV entertainment section. I mean, just stop it. Now, the Xbox One controller is slightly smaller than the Xbox 360 controller. Like the mold didn't feel as filling as the 360 control. Like the 360 controller, when you hold it in your hands, it is filling your hands. It feels very nice and comfortable to hold. Your hands don't feel unnatural when you hold it or anything. It just feels good to hold. The Xbox One, because it is a little bit smaller, and the way the bumpers and the triggers are set up, it feels a little cramped if you got big hands like I do. Now, as for the triggers, like the rumble triggers or whatever they're called, I didn't get to test those out, but the triggers felt alright. They had a lot more travel than, like, in terms of when you start pushing it to when it stops, than the 360 controller. Now for the they got rid of the start and select button. It's now like start and something else. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like options. I don't know what it is. I don't remember because it didn't sound important. I don't know. Now the sticks feel really good, if a little bit smaller. But the one thing I absolutely hated about the controller was the bumpers. The bumpers rise out a little bit. Like, okay, you know how there's the 360 controller, the bumpers stick out just a tad?
Yeah.
But it feels, but when you move your fingers from the triggers to the bumpers, it doesn't feel unnatural or anything. It just feels all right. Here I feel like they've been raised way too much, and then when you press down on it, it doesn't register at certain angles.
Weird.
So yeah, I found that really annoying. So I feel like the Xbox One controller is kind of a step back. I felt like they had good ideas, and I think they were just implemented poorly, and the controller had a kind of a poor design.
Hey, speaking of which,
but this is just minor gripes from someone who's been a long time Xbox user and everything. It's not a bad controller, but it's not a great controller. It's just,
Since we're on the topic of controllers, real quick, on the PS4, one of the new options on the controller itself is there's this new touchpad that's in the center of the controller, and what's cool about it is in games like in Killzone, you can actually swipe your thumb in different directions indicating certain functions, like how you want your little bot companion to act depending on certain situations. And if you actually push down on it, it has a clicking mechanism, so I could see that being like some kind of activation for a certain menu or something. So definitely has a lot of potential.
I could see it being a mouse pad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it's and I absolutely love it. And actually, I loved how it was implemented in Killzone because I felt like I was given another D-pad.
Exactly. Yes.
And what I mean by that is you press up to attack, left to stun, right to use a zip line, and down to have a shield. Well, in this case, you swipe either in those directions, and your D-pad was used for abilities and stuff like that. And so your D-pad was your abilities, and your touchpad was your drone's abilities. And I thought that was implemented really well. And I really want to see more developers take advantage of the touchpad. I think it is a useful addition to the controller. Now, should everybody adopt the touchpad idea? Like, is this the new standard for controllers? No, I wouldn't pass judgment on that yet. I've only seen one good utilization, and one good utilization isn't enough to justify a new mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
So, but other than that, I love the PS4 controller. It's everything I wanted the PS3 controller to be. The only gripe I have is the odd positioning of the option and share buttons. How they're just how they're in the top corner of the D-pad and the buttons, and right next to the touchpad. That feels awkward if your thumbs are on the buttons or the D-pad. It feels all right. This is like, okay, just move my thumb upwards. But if I was on a stick, it's like, okay, you move your thumb upwards, like, is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Okay, there it's now. It's on the options button. The travel is ridiculously long.
It is.
But
frankly, I can't really see where else I'd put it on the controller. And don't forget, folks, the controller itself has a built-in speaker, which scared the crap out of me in Killzone.
Oh my god! I had no idea.
Yeah, I pick it up and I literally drop the controller because I'm like, oh my god, it's talking to me.
That was the exact same thing happened to me.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is how it has a external audio. You can plug in a headset or whatever. It takes a 3.5 millimeter. But my question is, I went through the settings and it says output to headphones, and it says but right now it's locked on chat audio, and it makes me think, I wonder if they're going to do a patch in the future or something to where you can output game audio from the controller and just plug your headphones into it, and you don't have to buy a goddamn headset.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
The only way you could do that, though, is like somehow the controller has to have a built-in mic. You know?
Yeah, that would be a problem. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to have a mic.
Or if you have the PS4 camera, I mean, it should have a built-in mic.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So if they had a
PS4
patch,
camera is just basically a cheaper Kinect.
Yeah, really. So if they had a patch where you could still use your headset, I mean your regular headphones, and just speak into the camera or talk, normally.
Oh, sorry. For the Xbox fans that I offended just for saying the Sony camera is like the Kinect, I take that back. It's like it sorta. It's basically just the cheaper version. The Kinect is... Here's my opinion about the Kinect. The voice commands, I like that. Voice commands are cool. I mean, being able to walk into my room and just say Xbox on, and it turns on. Hey, Xbox, I want to watch TV. It switches to TV. That sounds cool. I hate the fact that I don't want to be the controller. I hate that. This is why I like the PlayStation camera better, because it uses the light bar from the controller. And so, therefore, when you're doing the motion controls, you still have the controller and you're implementing a new method upon an existing method instead of having to create entirely different methods and creating entirely different ways to control a game. Now you all know why I hate the Kinect. But overall, for new consoles, I'm really excited for the future of these. I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but I'm interested to see. And if last generation is anything, these past couple years from I'd say 2011 to now has been the best 2 years in gaming that I can think of in a long time, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. So I'm really excited for next year's E3 to see what else is going to be unveiled for these. Please be Kingdom Hearts release date.
Yes, yes. Well, at least we know we got some good titles coming up, like Destiny.
Destiny is one. I'm looking forward to the Order 1886.
Yes, that looks very cool.
Obviously,
Drive Club.
I'm looking forward to all the indies that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to play Octodad, the Dadliest Catch. That looks like the funniest game in the entire world. Like, it's a game that gets itself, and I love games like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually played Octodad on the PC, and I love it.
Uh-huh.
Now let's just end this topic. Now, should you buy the consoles? Should you and buy them right now? No. No. I'd say wait until summer to buy either console. Reason being is, one, there really aren't any games right now. Like, literally, there's less than a dozen games per each. Like, I think there's literally 8 games for both the Xbox One, and then there's like 8 on the PS4. It's pretty slim pickings right now. And there's only a couple games that are confirmed to come out for the PS4 and X. Destiny's supposed to come out before E3, but I won't hold Activision to that. Titanfall's supposed to come out for Xbox One, but and then Infamous Second Son. But that's really all I can think of. And Thief. I think Thief. Yeah, but that's also coming up for 360. I think. I'm not sure. But like I said, wait until E3 when it's in that summer of game, when there's the summer, when there's nothing coming out. That's the best thing about summer, is it's like a catch-up period, and you can play all the games that got released in the winter through spring, get them for probably even cheaper prices, and have time to play through them all. And then when you're done playing through all of them, you get all these awesome games coming out in the fall. Now, as for what those awesome games will be, we don't know. But as for, I'll take a gamble on buying a console in the summer. So there's my recommendation. If you're gonna buy a PS4 or Xbox One, wait until at least after E3.
Not only that, but it would give them time to fix any of the hardware bugs or software-wise on the systems themselves.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there is. Like I said, I've encountered a couple OS glitches, the PlayStation Plus games disappearing and stuff like that. So give them time to iron things out. And like literally, like I said, like if you buy one right now, it's like, yes, you're on the top of the cutting edge. You're getting to play all the new shit. But once you're done playing all the new shit, there's no other shit to play.
Yeah.
And you're just stuck with shit. And honestly, the only great, like from just, and this is not just from personal opinion, this is from based on what I'm seeing across the board in terms of critics, the only great game right now in terms of AAA exclusive to either console is Forza.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Bella to shut up.
Oh, you can hear her?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can hear Bella just fine.
Hold on. Alright, yeah, I just yelled at her.
Oh. No, I think it is time to move on to our next segment.
Oh, people doing stupid shit?
Nope, there will not be a people doing stupid shit this week because Tommy is doing the stupid Hunger Games. Tommy, tell your boss I said fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. So it's time to move on to shoutouts. Manny, you want to go first?
Sure. My shout out for this week goes out to MMORPGs. And let me tell you why. There's no feeling like having a hard 8 hours day at work and then you're able to come home, eat dinner, and then just chill out by signing on to your favorite game, and then lo and behold, 10 other people are already online with you saying, "Hey Manny, how's it going, man? Like, it's good to see you again. You want to come level up with us?" Or be like, "Hey, we're in the dungeon run right now. You want to pick up some loot?" So man, let me tell you, that feeling is just phenomenal. And for anyone who is ignorant enough to say that online gaming or just gaming in general is an antisocial activity, they clearly have not experienced this before. So,
alright. My shout out goes to Funimation. Why? Well, multiple reasons. One, they just re-released Akira. They confirmed that Evangelion 3.33 is coming out next month. They just released the One Piece movie. One Piece movie 10, which is actually really, really good. And then they said, "Oh, by the way, we're doing a movie marathon on Toonami next month." So next month on Toonami, they will show off Akira, Summer Wars, the Full Metal Alchemist movie, and the Trigun movie.
Holy
fuck.
smokes! Now, when you're talking about Akira, are you talking about the Blu-ray release?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
released Akira on
Yeah.
Blu-ray again.
I'm sure some of
and
our
honestly,
fans are
there's no other
it's on DVD.
there's no other way to buy Akira.
Yeah.
I don't think you should, like, if you're gonna give it Akira whatever on any sort of format, get it on the Blu-ray, because even though it's a 25-year-old film, it's still like one of the most beautiful pieces of animation today, and you want to get the most beautiful quality you can get.
Yeah. Plus, the main character, Kaneda, he wears a red jacket that says Pioneer on it. That in itself should.
And at the end of the movie, you will be singing "Blank Canada."
Yeah. Or actually, not his
Blank
jacket. It's his
Canada.
motorcycle.
Oh, his motorcycle is the shit.
Yeah.
Um,
His jacket has
if you guys have never seen Akira
Yeah.
at all, the first weekend of December, so that is the first Saturday of December, December 7th, on Toonami, and I believe it's either at 11 p.m. Central Time or 12 a.m. Central Time, they will show Akira on Toonami for the first time ever. And I think this is the only time I've ever heard of Akira being on TV. Because it was always like too violent.
I'm gonna have to like dig up my bootleg copy of Akira and watch it now. It's gonna be just 2 words: Kaneda, Tetsuo, Kaneda,
Tetsuo.
Hey, did you ever notice? Have you seen the movie Steam Boy?
Yes, I thought it. Here's the thing. I thought it was good, but it wasn't great.
Oh yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. But anyways, did you notice the main character design of the main character in that movie looks exactly like Tetsuo? In fact, I don't even recall if he kept the same name too. I couldn't remember or not. But I'm like, oh look, Tetsuo lives. Spoiler alert. He's in an alternate universe with steampunk. I was just waiting for him to be like, Canada! Yeah.
And then little children show up. It's Akira!
Yeah.
Anyways, that is the podcast. That is the end of episode 52 of Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Corey.
And I'm Manny.
And we'll see you all next week, folks. Hopefully with Tommy in tow. Bye-bye.
Konbanwa. It means good evening in Japanese.
Bakataro.